Yeah.
Alright, what up, y'all? How are you doing? Welcome to another episode of Woman Crush Every Day. I'm your host, Al Wu.
And I'm Tang.
And on this show, we talk about women we crush on in shows, TV, YouTube, media, all that good stuff, but pretty much just focusing on the lives of and the stories of Black queer women and queer women of color and their representation in media. So, this week we watched Queerious.
You can find Queerious on YouTube, and it's about an 8-episode web series, and it follows a group of friends.
Yeah, I think it's 6 people,
6 or 7
6
people.
Lives, yep.
So there's a couple who is basically they've been married for a long time.
This is Nia and Jamila.
Yes, and they are announcing that they are going to have a child.
Another couple. Well, everybody doesn't start out as a couple, but the other characters that we meet are Sam and Kwame. Kwame is starts out as like our main character, and then the story we start able to follow other folks. Sam is brought into the scene because this is Kwame's one-night stand. Sam ends up being very central to the story.
Yes.
Another character, Bisa. Bisa and Kwame are good friends, and they have a whole history together of why they're friends.
Yes, and they've known Jamila and Nia for a while, but especially Nia. Then we also have Jazz. Jazz is Bisa's roommate, and Jazz has a big secret that she reveals in the show. And then we have Trip. Trip is the boyfriend of Jazz.
All right, so I think those are the bulk of the characters.
Yeah.
That's our main group, and let's get into it.
Okay, so what was your favorite scene?
Oh man, there were a lot of interesting moments throughout the course of the show, but if I had to choose a favorite scene, I always get crazy about scenes that make me feel real feelings.
Okay.
So if it made me feel a certain way, that's usually where I'm headed. I would say one of my favorite scenes of this whole series is towards the last couple episodes. It is a scene between Jamila, Nia, and the gang. And pretty much Jamila brings all of the friends together to reveal this big secret. And the big secret is, I don't even want to like blow it for you all, but the secret that Jamila reveals causes quite a stir.
And it had nothing to do with most of them.
Yeah. But you know, like the way that played out, the way that whole thing played out, I was like, oh my God. I had a lot of feelings. And then it kind of like was the catalyst for other things that happened too that also caused another outrage.
Oh my God. Like causing relationships to fall apart and all sorts of people just acting out their ass.
Yeah, you know what, while we were watching the show, you were like, this is like lesbian relationships, and I'm like, you know what, I don't think this is all lesbian relationships.
It shouldn't be.
It's not, and you see some healthy relationships in the, or healthy things happening throughout the show, but some of this is just like, oh my gosh, you want to see like lesbian garbage,
like a hot mess.
You want to see lesbian trash? This is the show. Like some of the things that are happening is just like, oh my gosh, people really do suck sometimes, but it makes for entertaining YouTube shows. So that's my favorite scene.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pick something that made me feel a different feeling than you felt from watching that.
That's fair.
There is a wonderful sex scene in the show. I mean, it's shot beautifully. The two people do really seem to be into each other. It's sensual, it's sexy. I was like, glued. And, a lot of times, like, the sex scenes are cheesy, or they're not realistic, or they're too realistic and it's not really hot anymore. Like, this was a good meeting. I thought they did a really good job.
Yeah, I actually totally agree. That was a great scene, and especially like for the way that the show's done. I mean, you could tell they didn't have the world's biggest budget, but they turned this sex scene. They had all the red lights on, and just the shot choices I think were very strong.
Yeah.
To bring us into the story and bring us into this love making. And
I thought the actors really knew how to move. I feel like that's the key to a good sex scene is you need people who understand how to move their body sensually.
You sound like a porn director.
I'm not.
Yet. Not yet. I've got the eye.
Let's move on. Who is your woman crush?
All right. My woman crush was everybody but Jazz.
Shut up.
Everybody but Jazz was okay. Jazz, and watch the show and you'll get to like why I'm even at where I am. Actually, maybe not. Maybe you'll love Jazz. Maybe Jazz will be your favorite person. But no, true story. If I had to pick one person, my woman crush was Sam. My woman crush was Sam because Sam is cute as hell, and Sam was chilling. Like Sam was so cool. Like Sam was really trying to like build normal, regular ass love-filled relationships. At least that's the vibe that I got. So I'm gonna say Sam.
Well, I was gonna say Sam, and I stick with it. Sam definitely was the baddest on the show. A close second would be. Honestly, I didn't think Bisa was cute, but then after that sex scene, I was like,
maybe
if it was both of y'all, I'd let Bisa in.
Yeah, actually, Bisa was cute. Bisa was cute. I think I really like Jamila's style.
Yeah, but Jamila. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking about Nia. Nia looked like a different person every time.
Oh my God, Nia's a different face every episode. Look. I need y'all to tell me, is that the same person every episode?
Yeah.
Cause I was like, she looked totally different.
I think it's just she does a different hairdo, and then her face is beat a different way. She'll do the extreme one episode and the regular, and
that was confusing.
It was a little confusing.
I ain't gonna hold you up.
I still think she has a twin who was coming in.
They were like, quick, tag team, swap them out.
Maybe they were like both in college. They were like, well, I have class during that day. Like, you just go in my place. Like, Tia Tamara, y'all, and
it was crazy.
I wasn't fooled.
I wonder if she gets this all the time.
And she's like, who are you?
Like, maybe other people get this. I don't know. But
she was cute, though.
That's his whole
conversation. Both Nias were cute.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
both Nias were cute.
But who Nia is, I don't know. That was weird.
Okay, so where does the show really fit in the queer lexicon, in the queer world of television and film? Where does this really land?
I would say a show like Queerious is a part of the movement. In terms of being in a place where queer people can be in charge of creating their own content and their own narratives and putting them, publish them and share them widely. Like, it shows like Queerious that give a place for Woman Crush Every Day to kind of exist.
Yes.
So it's like, thank you to Queerious, because it's like you give folks like us great things to watch, entertaining things to watch, and to provide commentary on. I think that that we're still in the baby stages of some of this sort of medium as like a thing, and like where we just have these sorts of shows all over, but you can see the progression from like the very first lesbian YouTube show,
oh my God,
to Aquarius. It's like, this is great.
Yeah,
this is
amazing.
Great. We're on a fucking roll.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. I'm really excited about season 2. Like, I was kind of concerned about the storyline in the beginning. Like,
they
I was
really
like,
pulled together.
I don't really know where we're going. But by the last 2 episodes of the season, I was like,
yeah,
I want a season 2.
The cliffhangers, like what happens with people. Like, by that time, I was fully invested in a lot of who these people were. I mean, Nia and Jamila, I'm not invested in them. I don't know. But, okay, that actually brings me to where this fits in queer media. So, I'm not as invested in them because I want them to get to where their story is going. So, I love that this is queer, that this is black, and that they're bringing some other things in. Like, there's a trans man who's in here. There are people who are in poly relationships. There are people who are having friendships with people they've been in romantic relationships with. I mean, I think they're bringing, like, the full scope of what community looks like into the picture, and that people are still challenging each other's ideas all the time. Just because we're queer doesn't mean that we agree on everything, right, or that we say that everything is right or everything is the same. And so this really, I like how they brought in those different challenges to relationships and to how relationships have been.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, it just reminded me, like, I thought that it was really interesting. And I'm like, wow, we're at the place in shows to bring, one, to have a very black show, but to introduce the cross of men and women in a very queer show, and how queer black men, queer black women still interact and engage and like build families, and what that sort of looks like. That was fire.
Yeah,
honestly, I thought that's really cool, and that's very complex, and to know that we're still building. So yeah, kudos to Queerious.
Absolutely.
And actually, before we like totally shift off, one of the stars of the show, Kwame, is Lex, who is the creator of the show. Yeah. So writer, director, and actor in the show is Lex, and so shout out.
Yeah, Lex did their thing. Like, yeah, it was great. All right, so the final thing is, how gay is it? So this is on a scale from Katy Perry
to Janelle Monáe. Totally gay.
Totally gay, and we all know Katy Perry is fake.
Not gay.
So on the count of 3, we're gonna say, how gay is it?
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Tessa
Angel
Thompson.
Hayes.
Ooh.
Okay, nice.
Okay. You go first.
Okay. I'm giving Queerious a rating of an Angel Hayes gay because I feel like it kind of embodies this, like, predecessors of the movement, and like people who like should probably get way more shine than what they're getting. And maybe, you might not totally see that, but it's like you still are putting together a really quality product that is a part of changing the world. And I think that's where we are with this sort of content. Yeah, so if you don't know who Angel Hayes is a rapper. I think she's claiming Detroit right now, but she was born in Detroit. Shout out, woo woo 313. But Angel Hayes is like super queer. It kind of like even took a minute to like get to that point of just being like the super queer person. But like, I think in terms of like being queer, representing it, not getting the shine that you always deserve, you know what I mean? But still making that lane and paving that lane and not being afraid. Like, there was an Angel Hayes to me before there was a Young M.A. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, and there were people before Angel Hayes, but it's just like, you can see how we got a Young M.A. You know what I'm saying? You can see how even after that, we still in the beginnings. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's my Angel Hayes rating.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I was just going to go Tessa Thompson because I feel like we went on a Tessa ride where you're going to get queerness. You're going to get people who are, as far as the black community, sort of fringing. We also have some heterosexuality that is at play here in some ways that informs life. And I thought it was fun. It was sexy. It was dramatic. It was entertaining. It's Tessa.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, look, at the end of it all, we think that you should definitely tune in and watch the full first season of Queerious. Yeah. We're excited for season 2. If you already watched it, or if you had some thoughts about it, make sure you leave some comments below. We would love to hear from you. And until then, stay gay.
Stay gay. And stay black. And stay safe.
All of that. All right.
Bye.
bullish side. Making hella cake off a bunch of trays. I need income coming in 100 ways. Your girl said she ain't coming 100 days. Don't have me have that pussy hotter than a summer day. I pull a little closer, you can't run away. Then I cool off in the summer rain. I'm gon' talk my shit, cause I love it, man. My shit all over the place, shit like it's cluttering. Must I say it again?